Hello guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be doing a video where I tell you guys my best habits and tricks on how I think you can all and we can all have the best year of 2022 yet. As we all know, there's about like 2 weeks left until the new year, and that is crazy to me. I just feel like everything kind of went by so fast. That just blows my mind. But what I like to do is focus on what we can improve in the next year. So I have a whole timeline of everything I want to talk about in this video. It's going to be kind of a recap and things I think everyone could do better in order to make 2022 the best year yet. Also, I got this video idea from Fernanda Ramirez, so shout out to her. I'll have her video from last year down below. It helped me out so much and really allowed me to have a new perspective on everything that was going on in the world and how to just react to things. So credit to her for this video. And with all that being said, let's get into it. So similar to what she did, I really liked how she recapped her year. I think it's really important to always recap your year and kind of remind yourself what went bad, what went good. And that's because when we reflect, we allow ourselves to understand what we could do better and what we should change and also what should stay the same. So with all that being said, I'm going to talk about my overlook on 2021. So I broke my overlook into a couple sections. So I have friends, goals, family, good things, and bad things. So starting off with my friends. My year with my friends has been one of the best years I've had in a really long time, and I'm so appreciative of it. I have met so many new people. I have so many people that are still in my life from years ago and so many new people that I met recently, and it's just a really nice thing. I met so many people and I have the best times with them. So for friends, I would definitely check that off as good. Now moving on to goals. So for my goals for 2021, I know that one of my main goals was to go to the gym a lot, which I would say I really did do. Now I do want to say that I did have times where I struggled going to the gym and I was not motivated. However, I would say if I'm looking at it as like an overlook of 2021 rather than just certain days, it's normal to have bad days. It's normal not to be motivated. And as long as we allow ourselves to listen to our body, but also still like stay in that pattern of going to the gym regularly, if that was what my goal was, I would say I think I did pretty good with that as well. Another one of my goals was to do good in school. Now this was kind of challenging for me this year, like this semester especially, because I was in a lot of harder classes that I personally feel like weren't taught to the best of the ability that they could have been, just because it was a hybrid class, and in my opinion, accounting is really hard to teach when it's online. However, I do think that I pushed myself to keep going and I made it and we did good, so that's really all that matters. I mean, like I said before, there's going to be tests that I fail and there are tests that I failed, but at the end of the day, I still passed the class and I still tried my best, and that's basically the main important thing of what actually matters. I like to say all the time, it's not about what happens, it's about how you react to it. So I just like to remind myself of that and always remember that you can't really control what happens as long as you do your best, and as long as you allow yourself to control how you react, you are in the power. Now the next thing as for goals was my YouTube. For YouTube, I really wanted to hit 100K by the end of 2021. Even though I didn't, I still did grow a lot, and I'm really proud of myself because I personally feel like as long as I'm putting out good content, I'm so grateful for everyone that does watch my videos, and I'm still really proud of myself for where I am today. I just hit 25K and I want to say thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. That literally means everything to me. And I do want to mention that even though we may not always reach our goals by the timeline we want to meet them by, that does not mean we'll never meet them, and I am a true believer in that. I believe if you really believe that you can get there and put the work in to get there, that you will, despite the timeline, and I still believe that, obviously, so I just wanted to share that with you guys as well. Next, I'm going to talk about family. The one thing I will say is I did lose my grandpa, and I really had a hard time with that, and I had to try my best to adapt and just learn that he is in a better place and everything is going to be okay. I learned how to cope with it in different ways, and I carry his picture on my phone all the time just so I'm always reminded of him. With that all being said, we're going to go on to the good things. So for the good things, I met some really nice people. I had really good times with them. So I went on a lot of vacations. I went to LA, I went to LBI, I went to New York, and I don't know, it's just really fun. I also hit 25K on YouTube, which is amazing. Thank you guys again for that. And I am also graduating in May, and I just finished my fall semester of senior year. So those are some good things that happened. Some bad things that happened. As we talked about already, I did lose my grandfather. That was really hard for me. I had some relationship problems, which wasn't the best either. And then I also had a lot of personal problems with myself, if that makes sense. I didn't react to situations the way I should, and I kind of let myself fall out of a routine, which I wasn't proud of myself for. And it took me a really long time to be able to find myself again. And I want to be open with you guys and tell you guys that, because even if I look at my memories in my phone or on Snapchat from even a couple months ago, I just see make me really upset. And I want to remind you guys that just because someone could appear happy does not mean that they're actually happy, and kind of just like remember that, because everyone goes through it. And I know that when I was going through it, I was just comparing myself to other people, when in reality, if you don't know someone, you may not actually know what they're actually going through. So I just want to remind everyone of that. Just because it seems like someone's life is perfect does not mean that their life is actually perfect. It could be, but it also might not be, so just remember that as well. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about is manifestation and goals. If you guys know me, you know I am a true believer in manifestation. I believe that what you want, you can attract, and what you think you do attract. Basically, what I'm saying is if you want something, state it. Don't say I want, say I am. So for example, when I wake up in the morning, I love doing affirmations. I say I am worthy, I am healthy, I am protected. Those are just some examples you can say. I also say everything works out in my favor. I am stating it as if it is, because if you state it as if it is, it will attract to you and there's less room for doubt. If you guys don't know, we all work on a vibration. I know that some people might not like agree with this or think it's real. I personally do. If you don't want to watch this part, that's completely fine. You could skip to the timestamps down below. But basically, I really believe in manifestation. I believe that it works because I've seen it work. And if you really allow yourself to think that you can do it and you put the action into doing it, it will be yours. What I like to do, and this brings me on to the next topic, is goals. I like to set goals for myself, but in a way where I'm manifesting. So I will allow myself to put in the hard work and actually dedicate time to making that goal happen, but I will also set the intention that it is already mine. When you set the intention that it's already yours, it already is yours because you actually believe it. It is all about mindset. If you believe that something is yours, you will attract it. If you believe that you can't do something, it will be harder for you to attract because you're in a negative mindset. Basically, when you think about the positive and you focus on the positive, the good and the positive get better. It may not seem very simple at first, but when you actually sit down and think about it, that's literally all it takes for you to understand that yes, you do have to put in the hard work to get there, but it starts with your mindset. It's just like with working out. If you want to go to the gym every day, what you need to do is you need to show up. Now, if I'm taking an Orange Theory class, for example, all I need to do is book myself in a class and show up, and the coach will tell me what to do. Now, it's a little different if you're going to Crunch or LA Fitness because you might not be taking a class and you might have to hold yourself more accountable, but the first step is showing up. So it's really all about mindset. If you set yourself up for success, you will reach success. So for goals, what I wanted to say is basically what I think you should do is I think you should write your goals down. Writing your goals down is actually scientifically proven to allow you to actually reach your goal more than not writing it down. My opinion on it is when we write something down, we're more determined to make it come true because we want to be able to check it off and allow ourselves to be like, wow, I did that. I got there and I'm proud of myself for it. That's my personal opinion on it. A lot of people may have other opinions on why writing goals down is more likely to work than not writing them down, but I've done it. And the most important thing I like about that is you can reflect. So I have a journal in my drawer and it says goals from 2021. And I'm literally now able to look back on it and see what my goals were and see if I made them come true or not. All right, now we're going to talk about aligning with the universe. Aligning with the universe is something that I feel like some people don't understand, and it's not going to make sense until you understand it. Now, I know that might not make complete sense right now, but hopefully if you're someone who does believe in manifestation and everything like that, at the end of this video it will. Aligning with the universe is basically what I said before. If you want something to happen, you have to remember that you are in control. Your mindset is what is going to get you there. Now, of course, you do have to put in the hard work. You do have to be determined, and you can't just sit there and do nothing. However, if you are putting in the hard work, you are writing down goals and you are saying, I believe this, I believe this, I believe this, and you allow yourself to actually believe that, it will come true. Aligning with the universe is when your vibration is here and the universe's vibration is here, allowing them to match. When they match, then you will see your manifestation actually come to you. Now, the most important thing, you have to let go of the manifestation. You can't be thinking about how much you want it, because if you're thinking about how much you want it, you don't actually believe that it's yours, and that's where self-doubt comes in. When I say in the morning, everything works out in my favor, I say it in the morning, in the afternoon, and at nighttime before I go to bed, and then I don't think about it the rest of the day. If I need reassurance sometimes and I'm thinking negatively, then I'll just remind myself, it's okay, maybe this didn't go the way you planned, but everything will work out in your favor. And when I continue to say that, then I'm like, you know what? Yeah, everything works out in my favor. Maybe not exactly the way I planned, but it will work out for me in the end. And I have literally seen things work out in my favor, even though I haven't planned it to actually work out that way. So if that makes sense, what you need to do is you just need to reset your mindset and allow yourself to remember that you are in control, and what you believe you attract, so attract positive, not negative. All right, now we are going to talk about situations versus reactions. Situations are things we can't control, as I talked about before. You can't control necessarily what happens. You can control the beginning, for example, like a test, you can study. However, you can't control what's actually going to be on the test. That's up to the teacher. If, let's say, the teacher or the professor or whoever it might be gives you a test and it's on something you don't know anything about and you studied so hard, well, you have to think to yourself, okay, I prepared well. I did what I was supposed to do and I don't know what's on the test. However, I have to remind myself that this isn't my fault. I prepared myself and something else was put on the test that we were not taught. You can't control what's actually going on in that moment. You can't control what's on the test and you can't control how you're going to do anymore if you did not study the material. However, you have to remind yourself, did I study? Did I do what I was supposed to do? Did I show up when I told myself I needed to study? If you're answering yes to all of those 3 questions, it's not your fault. Therefore, in my opinion, your reaction should not be anything but proud of yourself. And that's hard. I know that's hard because even for myself, I'd be so mad at myself if I didn't do well on something that I believe I should have or could have done well on if I was given the right information to prepare for. However, if it's not your fault and it's out of your control and there's nothing you can do to change the situation, the best thing you can do is take a deep breath, deal with the situation as it is, allow yourself to still be proud of yourself for putting in that hard work and actually studying, and then just let it go. When you get the result back, you can deal with the situation better then because you actually know the score that you received on the exam and you can react accordingly. Don't worry until you actually know the outcome of the exam, if that makes sense. Now, this isn't the same for exactly every situation that may occur, but remember that you can't control the situation, however, you can control the reaction. The reaction is what may get you into trouble, so just try your best to not react before thinking, if that makes sense. Alrighty, last thing I want to talk about, resolutions. So resolutions, I feel like, are something everyone likes to do. In the beginning of the year, I feel like so many people say, this year or next year, I'm gonna wake up early. I'm going to go to the gym every single day at 6 a.m. I'm going to show up on time for my classes and everything is going to be great. That's perfect. However, a lot of people will stick to those resolutions for 2 or 3 weeks or even a month into January and then they'll just stop. That's where it becomes not perfect. So obviously we're not going to always be able to stick to a routine. However, what I taught myself recently is that that's okay. No one's perfect. No one's going to be able to show up for themselves 100% of the time. However, I like to think of it as 80-20. 80% of the time I like to show up for myself. I like to push myself to get there. 20% of the time I allow myself to listen to my body. It's kind of the same things with the resolutions when you ask me. If I'm allowing myself to complete my resolution every single day, even when I'm not feeling my best, this isn't good either. So if I allow myself to complete my resolution 80% of the time and the other 20% I allow myself to relax, take a rest day, and kind of regroup, the outcome of that resolution will actually be so much better. So with all that being said, what are my resolutions? My number 1 resolution is to go to the gym more. Recently, at the end of the year, I kind of fell off of my gym pattern. I am now going 4 times a week again, but I want to really try to go 6 times a week again. I go to Orange Theory, so that is my first resolution. My second resolution and goal is to just be more in the moment. I think it's so important to live in the moment and not let situations that you can't control affect how your day actually goes. So that's something that I'm really trying to work on. My third resolution is to make sure I'm having the best year ever by allowing myself to follow healthy habits and allowing myself to actually just have fun. My fourth one is just to be more of a healthy person. I don't really know how I would do this, but I want to practice more healthy habits and just be more present in my actual life. There is a lot more that I have, but they're personal, so I'm not going to state them on the internet. But what I want you guys to do right now is I want you to comment down below what your goals and resolutions are for 2022. But with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos from me. With all that being said, thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys really soon in my next video. Bye, guys.